Hello everyone, this is going to be another Starcraft 2 beta replay, and this time we're on Steeps of War versus a Protoss opponent in the bottom left, and I'm playing as Terran again in the top right. Phase 2 of beta, this is day 2, came back, a little bit rusty, but I think I got my game back. I got placed in bronze, worked my way up to platinum. Strangely enough, I went straight from bronze to platinum on my first promotion, so that was kind of weird. Can't really understand this placement system whatsoever. But with that said, here we go. Also, what else? I've moved my StarCraft 2 installation to a different hard drive. I heard that's what can cause problems if we're recording and playing from the same hard drive. So hopefully we can do some 1080p videos here without getting any of that recording lag that you've seen before in my videos. The downside of that is when I uninstalled StarCraft 2, I lost all my replays, and I had the best replay to show. I just had a game where I was like, never played so well. Like everything I was doing perfectly, and I was against an opponent to showcase it. He had like a 170 APM average. I'm very upset about that. But anyways, this is going to be against a Protoss opponent. And I'm having trouble remembering even what replay I've chosen here. So I can't really talk about what the theme of this video is. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise to me until it comes back to me. So I do check out his base. I scout out one gateway that's about 2/3 complete. So I decided to go ahead and attempt a quick expand. And the reason for that is this particular base on this particular map is the best base ever for the quick expand. This command center is so close to this ramp, you can get so much coverage with Planetary Fortress, even without the range upgrade. And especially against Protoss, I find that helps me a lot. Because there's two ways I can get in trouble. And one is if he goes mass stalkers and tries to break my ramp that way. The other is if he goes Void Ray Rush. And the problem is, to stop Void Rays, I need to mass out Marines really quickly. And to stop Stalkers, I gotta mass out Marauders really quickly, and I have to figure out which one I'm up against. And if I scan his base and I see a couple gateways and Cybernetics core, that doesn't really tell me what he's doing, because those are both requirements for Stalkers and Stargate. In this particular case, he will be going Void Rays, and he's hiding his tech up here. But as I was saying, it does not matter for this map because this is the best ramp ever, and if he tries to put Stalkers up on this ramp, I'll have range on hitting him. Only if he hugs a corner will I not be able to hit him, but even then, if he has a group of Stalkers, I'll still be, getting the splash damage on the ones that are on the inside of the ramp. So now that I know I can stop Stalkers, I just go mass Marines to start off in case he goes Void Rays. So I'm ready for everything. That was a long babbling run. I hope some of that made sense. So second base is up, and transferring SCVs at this point. You notice I don't get much of an economic edge early, maybe about 100 or 2. But it should be kicking in soon afterwards, because I will be able to pump SCVs from 2 command centers, and then of course having 2 bases running will make a big difference once I get them saturated. Protoss Stargate is up now, and I suppose I'll just speed up this to faster ×2, which makes a lot more sense than faster ×3 that they had before, because it actually was ×2. I don't know why they had ×3 then. Anywho, so have you noticed any lag? I haven't. I think I finally solved this recording problem. Awesome. Expect full 1080p videos from now on. And of course the lag will probably kick in when the first battle happens, but we'll see. So he sends out his first Void Ray solo, which is pretty early. I only got 4 Marines out, even though I've been pumping them non-stop from my 3 barracks, which are not pumping anything at the moment, so I guess I can't claim to be pumping anything non-stop. Yeah, it looks like I am supply capped, that was the problem. Strangely enough, this Void Ray just beats 4 Marines. What he's doing here is actually a little trick. I call it a bug in the game. when you switch targets, it's supposed to go back to its level 1 attack, but I think it stayed on its level 2. If you switch targets fast enough, it will, let's see on its level 2 beam. I think that was level 2. Maybe it was level 1. Maybe I'm just talking out my butt. But, that was a bug that at least existed in the last patch. I did put one turret down my front line just in case of a Dark Templar or Void Rays, just for a little assistance. But mostly at this point in the game I'm just trying to pump out my unit count. Fortunately this Void Ray did escape with 27 hit points, and now he's got all his shields back, and a second Void Ray coming as well. Not too worried about the Void Rays though. I mean, Marines are probably the hardest counter in the game to them, so pretty happy with that. And as you can see with Stimpack, the not just the attack rate, but mostly the speed gives me the biggest advantage. I can really get my units underneath them, and then they have nowhere to run. I take both Xel'Nagas. This really helps me out this game. This game is starting to come back to me now. Good to keep them on this side of the brush too, just so if he ends up taking the base, he may never know that your Marine is actually here. And side note, if you ever want to take these high yields, always check the Xel'Naga first. Make sure you clear it out, so you're not tipping off your opponent exactly what you're doing. So he does have 4 Dark Templar now, switching to a Dark Templar rush. He's just throwing various finesse strategies at me, I guess. So this turret does spot that one. I'd already queued up another turret, but this won't be quite in time. Scan takes up the 1. He has 1 left. Pretty smart here. He waits for the scan to finish and then tries to break into the ramp again. Anytime using this sort of cloaked units, just throwing them at one at a time at a Terran who's reliant on scan is probably a good idea. Because scans are a limited resource. And in a way, a scan costs 270 minerals, because that's usually what you get out of a mule. I do not use the scan. And then from Dark Templar, he's transitioning into High Templar. This is a really good example of how to play these sort of finesse strategies without committing yourself all in. Like, you notice he just transitions from one to the next and doesn't, you know, he doesn't keep pumping more and more and more Void Rays once he sees I have a ton of Marines. Or keep trying to get DTs in my base when he knows I have Cloak Sight. He keeps transitioning to various strategies and making use of the tech he already has. Like, he already had the Twilight Council for the Dark Templars, so he may as well use it to get the High Templars now. And High Templars are very good counter versus the MMM ball, the Bio Ball. For 2 reasons. You can Psystorm, you know, these clusters of units, which is very effective. And you can also use feedback on the medics, which will make the medics useless, first of all, because it gets rid of all their energy, and it does quite a bit of damage to them as well, assuming they have a decent amount of energy on them.